Hello, and welcome to Hypano, where we bring you the latest news briefings and analysis on technologies and EVs to keep you informed. This hour in focus, we are exploring the China's near-to-be unmatched supercomputer abilities, third Exascale machine, apparently reportedly online. But before we proceed, please kindly like and subscribe to this channel by clicking the bell notification feature below to help YouTube learn of your preferences and to receive notifications each time new videos are uploaded on this channel. Let's get on going. The Western world should heed this warning from one of the most brilliant brains in the field of supercomputing. According to Jack Dongarra, an industry leader, winner of the Turing Award, and co-founder of Top 500, the United States is most certainly falling behind China in the race to develop exascale supercomputers. It would appear that a third Chinese exascale supercomputer that had been presumed to have been put on hold permanently as a result of the impact of US sanctions has been brought back online. In the meantime, the United States of America only has two exascale machines, namely Frontier and Aurora, that are currently operational. When Dongarra suggests that China could be in the lead, nobody takes what he says lightly. For fear of attracting the attention of US regulators and thereby triggering additional sanctions, China has not submitted its fastest exascale-class supercomputers to the Top 500 list, the de facto supercomputer listing and benchmarking process that is responsible for bringing clarity to how the world stands in processing capability. The Top 500 list is responsible for bringing clarity to how the world stands in processing capability. It follows that the official picture that has been supplied by the Top 500 is not an accurate depiction of reality, due to the fact that data has been omitted from it. According to the Top 500, China's supercomputers came in at a distant 7th, with the Sunway Taiyu Light supercomputer in 10th position, Tang 2, trillions of calculations per second behind the leader, which is an AMD-powered exascale computer situated in the United States and called Frontier. This is not an accurate depiction of the situation. It's a well-known situation that China has these computers, and they have been operating for a while, Dongarra said in an interview with the South China Morning Post. According to the author, they have not run the benchmarks, but the community has a general idea of their architectures and capabilities based on research papers published to describe the science coming out of those machines. According to the highlights from the Top 500 list as of June 2023, China does not even make it into the top 5 of the world's most powerful supercomputers. The AMD-made Frontier from the United States comes in first, followed by the ARM-based Fugaku from Japan in second place. Photo courtesy of Top500.com. We are aware that China has installed two supercomputers that are of the exascale class. Although China does not submit its machines to the Top 500 list, the country has entered the results of two of these machines to compete for the Gordon Bell Prize. This award is given out annually to recognize outstanding achievement in high-performance computing, which is determined by the fields of research that are conducted using the computers. However, based on the information provided in the SCMP report, it seems that a third computer, which has not been entered into the competition for the award, has now also come online. The Sunway Ocean Light, which was built by the National Supercomputing Center in Wuxi, and the Tianyi-3, which was developed by the National Supercomputing Center in Tianjin, have both been submitted by China for consideration for the Gordon Bell Prize. The Tianyi-3 was already crunching AI workloads before it became mainstream. Nevertheless, the National Supercomputing Center in Shenzhen is home to a third unknown supercomputer that is rumored to have been manufactured in China by a company called Sugen. This item has not been entered into the competition for the award, and it has been widely believed for some time that work on the project has been put on hold indefinitely as a result of Sugen's inclusion on the blacklist in 2019. The company was also unable to gain access to the Haigun CPUs, which were a series of China-made x86 processors based on AMD Zen design. The company had planned to employ these processors, but as a result of US sanctions, AMD's joint venture, which created these processors, was forced to shut down. There is a lack of clarity on the processors that are being utilized by the computer. Due to the fact that participation in the Top 500 is entirely voluntary, the vast majority of websites will not accept the challenge. When we take into account the current state of the geopolitical climate, we can see that it is not an environment that is friendly to openness, transparency, or a head-first participation style. According to comments made by Dongera to the SCMP, possibly having the no one computer would make news and put China under the spotlight. It is possible that this will lead to the United States taking action against China, which would further restrict the flow of technologies into China. It's fascinating to see how Dongera's insight corresponds to the real world. If China had the most powerful supercomputer, it would undoubtedly be all over the headlines. In addition, we have already experienced a couple of years' worth of increasingly stringent technological censorship, which has been imposed on us in some form or another. Despite this, China is still the country that manufactures the greatest number of supercomputers. Chips designed both in China and in the West can be found in the supercomputers that are manufactured in China and exported everywhere, including the United States, according to Dongera. Both Apple and Huawei have recently unveiled their most advanced flagship devices, and now it is time for us to investigate the differences between the top specifications of the two companies' respective smartphones, the Mate 60 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro. Before we get started, I want to clarify that the following discussion is not a review, but rather a comparison of the two different smartphones, based solely on the most recent information that was provided by the companies that create these phones. In addition, the iPhone 15 Pro will always take the lead position in each category, followed by the Mate 60 Pro. The 6.1-inch OLED display on the iPhone 15 Pro has a pixel density of 460p and a resolution of 2556 x 1179 pixels. It has a maximum brightness of 1000 nits, adaptive overdrive with a refresh rate of up to 120 Hz, high dynamic range, true tone, and a P3 wide color gamut. The OLED display on the Mate 60 Pro is 6.83 inches and has a pixel density of 423 pi. Its resolution is 2720 by 1260. It boasts a touch sampling rate of 300 Hz, a P3 wide color gamut, and a 1:120 is LTPO adjustable refresh rate. In addition, it has a 1440 as high-frequency PLUM dimming. The height of the iPhone 15 Pro is 146.6 millimeters, and its width is 70.6 millimeters. It is 187 grams in weight. It measures 163.65 millimeters in height, 79 millimeters in width, and 8.1 millimeters in thickness. Camera on the Mate 60 Pro has a super optical variable camera with a variable aperture ranging from 1.4 to 4.0 and optical image stabilization. It has a resolution of 50 megapixels, a camera with a 12 megapixel ultra-wide angle lens and an aperture of 2.2, and a super macro telephoto camera with a resolution of 48 megapixels, an aperture of 3.0, and optical image stabilization. The front-facing camera on the Mate has a resolution of 13 megapixels and is equipped with a 3D facial recognition system. The battery capacity of the Mate 60 Pro is 5000 mAh, and it supports cable charging at 88 watts, wireless charging at 50 watts, and wireless reverse charging at 20 watts. That's where we wrap things up for the time being. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.